All right, guys, I know you're going to find this hard to believe. Hard to believe. But you know, some people that have lived in Costa Rica or have traveled around Costa Rica for a time hated it. I know, right? There's been a lot of haters, and we're going to talk about those haters. And if you're thinking about living in Costa Rica at some point, you're definitely going to want to hear this video because I'm going to come at it from like maybe a little bit of a different perspective, a little bit different way of looking at something that I think will be informative for you. But you're gonna need your big cup of coffee. I even pulled out the main for this one, and you might need some alcohol, or you might need a little bit of both. This is gonna be like a Jackson Pollock painting. I'll be slinging some paint on this one. Guys, I'm Michael Allen for TravelCostaRicaNow.com. You know we're a travel agency. I know you do. But anyway, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe. If you haven't already, it does really help. If you want to see videos as we put them up, hit the notification bell. And if you really want to help and you're not going to donate, I just threw that in there. If you really want to help, please comment anything, emojis, thumbs up, thumbs down. Love the video, didn't like the video. Put your perspective, your opinions. I hated it. Anything, because the word of the YouTube day now is engagement. Engagement. It gives the video legs. If they're going, oh my gosh, look at all the comments on this video, and they promote the video more. So it's very, very helpful, and I would appreciate it. All right, man. Happy Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. All right. One of three things is happening to me right now as you are watching this video. I'm on my way to the relocation retreat in Estarios Este at Sunset Del Mar Resort in the middle of Mano Antonio and Jaco. So one of three things. I'm either A, waiting for my shuttle, B, and I hate B, I'm on a windy road and feeling like my 13-year-old self on the twirl-a-whirl at the carnival. Yes, if I'm not driving, I still get like that. Or C, I'm sitting on the beach with some coffee, getting over B, staring at the ocean. So one of those three things are probably happening. Hey, on this video, I would so appreciate your perspective and comments, especially on this video, because you know what? We may not be the most intelligent channel on YouTube, but boy, do we get a lot of wisdom. I read the comments. I see what you guys say. I love your perspective. I learn from you guys all the time. Sometimes I go sideways on a video. I forget things. You guys remind me, but I would really like to hear your opinions on this. It's very helpful to me and to other people. So please watch all of it and comment. All right, let the Jackson Pollock start slinging. So we've been making videos for about 14 years, all right? 14, 15, something like that. And boy, have we seen some hate about living or traveling in Costa Rica. Both, a lot of them, a lot of negative comments. Now, the negative comments were worse back in the day when, you know, it was the wild, wild west. On comments, you could say anything, cussing and call people names and everything. But I still get a lot of negative comments, and probably on just about every video, depending on what I'm talking about, and maybe even this video. Again, it just depends on what I'm discussing. But we get a lot of negative comments, and they usually come in there's two different ones, basically two. One is Costa Rica is a shithole. I don't know why. Shithole seems to be the go-to. Now, you can't really say shithole much anymore without using asterisks and all kinds of stuff like you could do, again, back in the day. But for some reason, shithole is what people like to call Costa Rica when they want to be negative about Costa Rica. Now, why do they say that? It's usually something about, oh, crime is rampant. They talk about it's so expensive there and you don't get anything. Oh, the locals, they're stupid and lazy. They're really lazy. Oh, the health insurance there, you buy in, you don't get it. It's a lot of blah, blah, blah of negativity. And not always, but most times they will say, it's nothing like it was 25 years ago. We're going to get to that, but no shit. Tell me one thing that's the same. But we're going to get to that. Number two is something bad happened when they were here. I got mugged. I got robbed. This trauma happened to me. I would never live in Costa Rica. I wouldn't set foot in Costa Rica. You shouldn't set foot in Costa Rica. You shouldn't travel there and you shouldn't live there because this stuff could happen to you too, because it happened to me. Yeah, it could. We're going to get to that. But first, let's talk about Costa Rica is a shithole, and it was so great 25 years ago. First of all, those comments, they're very, to me, disingenuous at first. It's a lot of pot kettle black on those comments. In other words, you could a lot of times take out Costa Rica and put in wherever you're from, and whatever they commented would still apply, or, or mostly apply. And so that whole slinging like Costa Rica is any worse or better than maybe from wherever you're from is, again, disingenuous. But if you look at it a little deeper, if you go a little deeper, these people got some anger and some hate. And so I think it's even a little more than that. A lot of times they got an axe to grind. Maybe their heart got hurt. They're holding a grudge. They're carrying a frustration. They had some sort of failure of some kind. Maybe it was business. Maybe it was in romance. Maybe a personal failure. Maybe they romanticized their time in Costa Rica. They got some anger. Maybe they can get past the glory days. They can't get past their past. They can't accept the change. But what I notice about those comments, it has nothing to do with Costa Rica. It's more personal. It's too hateful. It's too mean. And it usually, again, has nothing to do with Costa Rica. There's obviously issues they had when they were here that they're still dealing with, that they can't deal with. And what's the easiest thing to do when you can't look yourself in the face and maybe take some responsibility? Yes, you got to blame something else or someone else or some other place. And Costa Rica is that scapegoat. Yes, I said it. I do believe that. It's funny. This is just on a little side note, kind of applies. Let's say Costa Rica is a shithole. Let's just go, it is. Well, guess what? I would rather be living the life here than wherever you're from. And a couple of reasons for that is I probably can fly under the radar easier than you. And I am sitting here in a $230 two-bedroom, $230 a month rent in a pretty decent neighborhood. That's just two little reasons why I'll take my shithole over that. Obviously, there's more reasons why you decide to live somewhere or whatever. But now, the second one is I got mugged. This trauma happened to me. This bad thing happened to me. I get it, man. I get that. I totally understand. But really? That couldn't happen in San Francisco. That couldn't happen in a city wherever you're from, or even in a small town. Bad things don't happen. What fairy tale life do you live in that bad things don't happen? I don't know. So I don't really get that one. I got to be honest with you. And I'm going to tell you why, because well, you'll get it. All right. So, in November, I've been here 18 years. 18 years. And you want to hear some of the things in those 18 years? So some of those traumas, some of those reasons maybe I should have left, or we should have left. All right, when we got here, first 2 years, we got ripped off right out the gate. When we first got here, within 3 months, we knew we got ripped off. We were, in the first 2-3 years, this close to living under a freeway. I've never told you this story, but this happened, I think, in the first 5 years. I got a gun in my face, this close, at a bar, after hours bar. No, I didn't do anything. It's a story, but obviously nothing happened. I'm just saying, gun in the face. I got arrested. You saw that video, maybe. Not one of my high points of living here. About 7 months ago, there was a murder, one street over, a drive-by, drug-related, in my little neighborhood, Barrio Pilo. In my little barrio. It's nice here. That's an exception. But if you didn't know, you'd be like, Michael, what do you live in a war zone? No, but that could give you pause, right? That could give you a little pause, like, what's going on? What's going on? And that doesn't even include all the little annoyances that some people leave too, or give hate, or why they comment their hate. Dogs barking is real. That's a real thing. If you live by, yeah, and everybody lives by dogs barking, it seems that can be very annoying. Maintenance issues, just ongoing maintenance issues, ongoing red tape, immigration frustration. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And that doesn't even include my, let's just say, alcohol and mental issues. That's a whole nother subcategory of trauma after trauma, story after story. So, and these are just what my geriatric mashed potato brain can remember. I'm sure there's more. Now, looking at all those, have I been stupid or just persistent or a lot of both? I don't know. When I was doing this, when I was thinking about this video, I was like, why am I living in Costa Rica? Jesus. Actually, no, that's not true. I love living here. So, one second. Another kind of thing before we get into the rest of this is, I could make negative videos. I could make Costa Rica seem like the biggest shithole ever. I can't drink much coffee because I guess that gulp, you can hear it too good and it's disgusting. And a lot of people go, and I totally understand that. So I kind of almost have to fake the coffee thing. So again, I could make negative videos. I could make them. I could get you thinking that it's a shithole. Listen to what that Michael guy says. He just talks about, the people, how lazy they are, and they're really not a green country, or they got polluted waters and rivers and this and that. And I could probably get more views actually doing that. So I could be super negative if I wanted. That's not hard to do. You could do it anywhere. You look at the YouTube, look at the internet. You see all those, and people got that negative, hating vibe. But the other thing is, if you've noticed, when I'm talking, I almost never put in photos or other videos to. I try to give you straight information so there's no drama or perceived manipulation. Because, for instance, if I said Costa Rica is paradise, and then I put up a video of the beach and the palm trees and a monkey eating a coconut or whatever, it conjures up things that, yes, it's kind of true, but maybe it's not quite that paradise really. So I don't like to do that. So you can just take the information in and kind of come up with your own, thinking. But I do want to play you something that is a little dramatic, that kind of ties all this together, because the frustration, the hate that people could have for Costa Rica is real. Now, this just happened in the past few days. All right, it just happened. This guy, I know he's been living here longer than me. I'm sure he's had just as many struggles as anybody else living here. Here's what happened. Before what the fuckery they call the pandemic, he was going to get a hernia operation, but he couldn't get it. Now he has the CAHA. Remember what the CAHA is? The socialized medicine that you pay into here when you're a resident. He is a resident. So finally, what was that, 2 years ago? Finally, he's got his appointment to the CAHA to get his hernia operation. Now, if you didn't hear what we said about the CAHA, you can wait months. I don't want to say years, but maybe years, in his case, for an operation on your hernia. So it was scheduled for tomorrow, Monday. Friday or Thursday, they call him and say, nope, sorry, you're not going to get it. So he's like, well, what's my new date? No, they didn't have one. So I want to play you this. Now I'm going to start it so you can kind of get acclimated with his voice real quick. And you're going to hear this frustration. He's been living here longer than me. And you can see why people leave Costa Rica, possibly, and say it's a shithole. So you ready?
What have I been paying 17, 18 years? Why have I been paying the Caja? I'm going to go over there Monday, and I'm going to tell them people, you fucking people have fucked me around so much. I'm going to tell them I ain't ever paying that fucking Caja again. I don't care if you cancel my residency and throw me out of the country. Maybe that'd be the best thing. Because Jesus Christ. You know, I was all psyched up. You know, I got to go get knocked out, cut up, all this bullshit. Now they just call and say, oh, yeah, by the way, in 2 days, you're not having your surgery, you know. Jeez.
Now, he could be just venting. I'm sure he is venting, but you can hear the frustration and the anger there. And I totally understand. I think of this same stuff, especially with the Caja, as I'm getting older. I'm sure he's thinking, man, if this small thing with this hernia is taking this long, what if something serious happens to me? And as we get older, that's a freaking concern. So I totally understand. And you can hear his frustration. Again, I'm sure he's been here a long time, so maybe some of that's venting. I'm sure it was. I hope he's not mad that I played that. If you do hear this, you know who you are. I did it to help. All right. So anyway, you can hear that. So I get it. I get it. I get the hate. I get why people could say, you know, it's a shithole. I just don't understand living in the world of negativity. In my opinion, I think life is suffering. I think life is suffering. You got to conquer the dragon. You got to get in the game and you got to swing the sword. And shit is going to happen. So you have to decide what you're going to accept. Is he going to leave because of that? I don't know. I totally will understand if he said, Costa Rica's a shithole. Here's why. I'm leaving. What are you going to accept? What you're not going to accept? What's too much in Costa Rica? What's not too much? I can tell you one thing and one thing only. You are not the exception to the rule. The dragons will come regardless. I'm Michael Allen, Travel Costa Rica Now. Peace, guys. Hope it helps. God, I'm hot. Things are going to pop up if you think about living or traveling anywhere, especially Costa Rica. You should check out our videos. I'll put them up against anybody. And good Lord, I hope while you're watching this video, I am sitting at the beach having coffee and I'm up that windy road.